What's up, reviewers? It's your man, Benny Blue, and this episode of the podcast is brought to you by rotosurance.com. Protect your fantasy team by buying fantasy sports insurance today. Go to rotosurance.com and use our promo code JBBenny20 for 20% off your order.
Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game.
4, 3, 2, 1. What is good, reviewers? We are back. It is the JB and Benny Blue Review podcast for your listening pleasure. However you may be listening, wherever you may be listening, we really appreciate you rocking with us. We are flying high into the goddamn wild card weekend, and we will get into all that with our savage picks for wild card weekend. Of course, you can listen to us on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, TuneIn, CastBox, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and full episodes on YouTube. Please go to YouTube, give us a 5-star rating.
Yes, please.
Help us move up the charts, especially going into the new year. Follow us on social media at JB and Benny Blue, and of course, JBandBennyBlueReview.com for all past episodes. And put a / merch behind that. Make sure you cop your Don't Be Dumb hoodie. You know what I'm saying? Start the new year off right, especially off the latest episode, which was Don't Be Dumb for all shit. So, yeah, man. First and foremost, Bizzle, man, I know you watched this fucking R. Kelly shit. I know you wanted to speak on it.
Oh, man. I look,
get your shit off about what's going on with this.
Reviewers out there, I just want to start by saying R. Kelly is a sick man. And that's all I'm going to say about R. Kelly, because, you know, he's got enough attention in this, and it's been bad enough already. But what I'm going to say to the reviewers out there, to the parents, the fathers, to the mothers, we need to be more leery about who we have around our children. I can't have my kids around anybody that I don't know, and that's just real spit, bro. I can't deal with my kids being around people that I don't know, because people fucking crazy. I used to always kind of get on my ex-wife when we were married, back when the kids were younger. Like, she would never let the kids go anywhere, you know what I'm saying? And I would be like, oh, that's fucked up, you know what I'm saying? The kids gotta live. But now I kind of understand her madness, because motherfuckers is crazy. Like, you don't know. You don't know what's going on under people's roofs. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, keep your eyes on your goddamn kids. Reviewers fight, and if they with somebody, especially, and Benny, you can attest to this, especially in the goddamn industry, man. I had to talk about ex-wife when she first took my daughter out there to Hollywood, and I told her, I was like, this industry is wild. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's gonna be a lot of sexual favors offered or asked of, you know what I'm saying? Because you're a woman, you know what I'm saying? You're a pretty woman, you know what I'm saying? You have a daughter, you're trying to get her in the business. Of course, all these dudes, these execs, these producers, all these people that we know, cats, you know what I'm saying? Cats gonna ask for some sexual favors. I still got a couple vendettas. I see a couple people, and we weren't even married at the time, but I see a couple people in Hollywood that's gonna be poking the city. And Benny, you already know this, you know what I'm saying? Because, when my ex-wife was trying to get my daughter on, Cass was trying to get at her, like, yo, you do this, I do that. And you know what? That's fucked up. It is. It's fucked up that you're abusing your power in that situation, but it's 10 times more fucked up when you're a grown man and you're preying on a young woman or a young man, and vice versa. It's just not cool. It's disgusting. Reviewers, watch the goddamn kids. Be involved in what your kids are involved in. If they are trying to get into that business, you need to be with them hand and foot every step of the way. Don't be trusting your kid to go to the studio with no damn body. And nah, hell no. You know what I'm saying? Time out for that shit. And that's why a lot of the things that happen with these young girls happen, because the parents were nowhere around saying, hey, what's going on now? I want to go to the studio. Let me go to the studio too and see what's going on. If they would have went, oh man, R. Kelly has been in jail. So yeah, I'm gonna get off my soapbox on that one. R. Kelly, you sick son of a bitch. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Right, and R. Kelly, had this shit come out and fucking really deep in 2018, you really been about that life, you absolutely would have had your own category here for Don't Be Dumb. But hey, it's never too late, because you're being a dumbass. JB, I think, to put a bow on this, I think R. Kelly's punishment should be, he has to square up with all the dads of all the girls that he messed with. Just in a round robin. Like they put him in a ring and he's got to wear the Zorro mask and like a silk robe, and he never gets to take a break. Look, it's just all the dads coming in.
Here's the problem with that, Benny, is that most of them girls don't even have a damn dad. That's the fucked up part.
Well, then their uncle, whoever's pretending to be their dad.
Right, uncle, yeah. Some male figure in their family, you know what I'm saying? You got to throw hands with them. You know what I'm saying?
Right, grandpa, uncle, guardian, something. They can have open slots. You can pay a registration fee and sign up.
Grandpa be smacking him in his head with a cane and shit.
Right, yeah. Fucking R. Kelly.
No, R. Kelly deserves to go to jail and get raped by every man named fucking Bubba in that bitch. Like, fuck him, bro. Like, damn. That's fucking disgusting, man. Like, for real, it's just disgusting.
Whole game. Whole game. Bizzle, man, speaking of a cold game, you know, sometimes things just don't work out your way, especially when it comes to things that involve other people.
You can say that shit again. Right.
Exactly. Other factors, all that good shit. Reviewers, as promised. Oh, we didn't bluff on our promise to you. First and foremost, shout out to all the reviewers out there that had teams that participated in the NFL.com for the People Fantasy Football League, which has come to an end with the regular season. And I will read off the standings here for you. In 8th place, we had Helmet to Helmet. 7th place, we had Stugs to BU. Great name. 6th place, RKO out of nowhere. 5th place, unfortunately, the JB and Benny Blue Review Savages. 4th place, No Glove, No Love. And then the top 3, you had Kneeling with Cap. 2nd place, Any Given Sunday. And we are joined by our winner, the owner of the People's Champ and the winner of the 2018 For the People NFL.com Fantasy League, Mr. Jalen Johnson. Sir, how are you? Thank you for joining us.
Johnson, how you doing, son?
I'm good.
Awesome. Now, Jalen, I was looking at your profile on IG. Do you attend NAU?
Not right now. I had to take a year off to get some money stacked up.
Oh, I can dig it. Trust me when I say. Now, are you an athlete or are you just a regular student?
I do play football, but I'm kind of stepping back from it right now.
Okay. Now, are you from the Valley? You from Arizona, Phoenix?
No, I'm originally from Sacramento, California.
Sacktown.
Sacktown, the house. Okay. All right. That's what I'm talking about. How old are you, buddy?
I'm 19.
Young man.
Like I like to tell all these kids, I got kids your age. You know what I'm saying?
Damn, man. Ain't that some shit, Bizzle? We're supposed to be the experts. We're grown men.
Yeah.
And then Jalen slides in here and shellacks all of us. Jalen, first and foremost, you won the league, so we want to give you a moment to have your Oscar speech, bro. Anybody that you got to thank, any resources that you got to help you make the right picks as far as your players and who to put in the lineup and who to take out. Take a minute, just thank the Lord Almighty, whoever you got to thank for your victory. Get it out now, because you're the winner. You know what I'm saying? Stay on the podium.
I'm probably just gonna thank Patrick Mahomes for leading my team this.
Nice.
For real.
Nice.
And Lamar Jackson for taking over during his bye week.
Damn. Good pick.
Other than that, most of my team was because I woke up late on draft day, and so I only got to do the trash pick.
Damn.
So most of that was free agency trade.
See, and Jalen, I'm glad you brought that up. Because I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm looking at your lineup, and don't get me wrong, you have some playmakers. Like you have Patrick Mahomes, probably gonna win the MVP this year.
Yeah.
Of course, Melvin Gordon, that's a good pickup. Mike Evans, I mean, you already know he was kind of working with down there in the old pirate ship. Leonard Fournette was kind of, it was kind of shaky for him given the injuries, of course, the team he plays for. Mark Ingram, solid pick. Doug Baldwin, you really can't go wrong with that. Mike Williams is a good pick. I'm sure that you got more out of Jimmy Graham. I'm pretty sure Jimmy Graham wish he got more out of Jimmy Graham. And even like the Vikings defense. So what was it? Just looking at your team, like I said, there's playmakers, but there's also you can tell there's some cats you definitely picked up late rounds, waiver wire, that all stuff. What do you think? What do you think was the key, and what helped you to kind of make the right picks and not feel like you were leaving cats on the bench who were about to get 30 points out here?
I'm a Cardinals fan. So
Damn.
It's always been
Woohoo!
you can't really always go for the big name all the time. Sometimes you gotta go with the dude. You just feel like he gonna have a good week. It always looked like who they were playing, who was injured, what was going on that week. So I was going deep into it with some of my players.
Right.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's interesting, bro, because you're from Stack and you're a Cardinals fan. How did that come to pass?
I started watching football around when I was like 6, and so the first game I watched was it was Kurt Warner, Edgerrin James, Larry Fitzgerald, Anquan Bolden. They were playing the 49ers, and I said, whoever wins this game, I will be a fan forever. And the Cardinals won that game.
They did win that game.
Damn.
Simple as that. So look, just listen up, Jalen, and we were talking about this in the barbershop yesterday. Me and my barber and one of our homeboys joking about it. Like, this is the first year, and I was in 3 leagues this year. So this is the first year, and one, I've been in 3 leagues. 2, that I drafted. So me and Benny, of course, drafted our team in the Savage League together. But I find that a lot of the people that auto draft do a whole lot better than those that don't. Like, it's really weird. The year before, I did auto draft, and I won, Benny, if I'm not mistaken, right?
That's correct. And you did, in fact, auto draft, and I was, in fact, pissed.
So I auto drafted. I made a couple moves during the season, but last year it wasn't a bad injury year. You know, I had a horrible injury year when it comes to 2 of my league, and I finished second place in two of the other 2 leagues that I played in. How's your injuries stack up this year from your original draft? How does your injuries go? Like, did you have to make a lot of moves on the waiver wire? Did you ever reach the waiver wire limit? Because I did. So how'd that go for you?
My team, a lot of my players went down because Leonard Fournette went down for a while.
Yep.
Had a couple players that dropped because I was in 3 leagues this year. I won 2 of them.
Damn. Out here studying.
Wow.
Out here studying.
That was injuries everywhere. Pretty much my entire starting lineup went down in that one. I forget who was in it. I deleted it immediately. Gave up. But I kept going with the other 2 and won those 2. But injuries were back and forth this year.
Now, you said you won 2. No, we know you took ours.
Yeah.
The other one that you win, was it a money league?
No, we were going to make it a money league, but then everyone was switching up, so then we had to get different people, and so we ended up not having enough time to make it a money league.
Okay, I can dig it. I totally understand. That's all.
Yeah, and I think, and JB, you can attest to this, and Jalen, I'm pretty sure you seem to be pretty well versed in fantasy. There is an element of just general fuckery that can kind of either help you win or help you lose, because you could pick the most fire team ever, and I've done that before, where it's like, I can't believe I got all these players.
Oh, yeah.
And then you get into the season, and it's like, they have a bad game, or like you got a quarterback and like he's lighting it up, and then he throws a goddamn pick 6, or like a defense blows it late, so you lose the points, or somebody who you know is fucking just whatever has a fucking monster game because their quarterback decides to target them on these little dink and dunk passes. It's all this bullshit that factors into it. Is that kind of what you've noticed, and you just got to kind of take it as it comes, or do you really feel like you got a down pat strategy to be like, you know what, I know where the sleepers are, I know where to put these guys in it to make sure I don't lose any points and all that shit?
I think it's more, I watch college football and stuff too, so a lot of grown men in the NFL, I've been watching them since they were like freshmen in college and stuff like that. So a lot of the players, I kind of like look at them and like more if like they're a pretty boy playing, or if they actually like out playing football. I kind of draft those guys that I like actually trust.
There you go. So look, I think Benny, I think Jay said it. He hit the nail on the head as soon as he started talking with his thank you speech. He said, I want to thank Patrick Mahomes. I'm pretty sure Patrick Mahomes is pretty much damn near the sole reason why you won, because this dude was getting average 25 points pretty much every game.
Yeah. And just to recap, Patrick Mahomes for the season got 417 goddamn points. So it's like he threw for over 5,000 yards, 50 touchdowns, 20 or 12 picks rather. I mean, if he doesn't win, I mean, he's got my vote. I mean, shit, man. Like he's balling his ass off. Jalen, you brought up an interesting point, and it's an interesting pick. And if you even follow this podcast remotely, you know how we talked about it during the draft, and obviously you know that I fuck with Louisville. So I'm like you mentioned, you watch college football, so I'm personally very familiar with Lamar Jackson. going into the playoff, what do you personally expect out of Lamar Jackson? He's a rookie, never played in the playoffs. Obviously, he's getting a start, like you mentioned. What are you kind of expecting to see from Lamar Jackson in the playoff?
I think he's going to show everybody up. I think no one really has faith in him going into it, and I feel like he's going to continue to show everybody up. Probably surprise a couple of people.
Yeah. You know what? I do think he's going to make some plays. I don't know if I trust him quite yet, just based off of the experience. I know obviously there's a good culture within the Ravens, and they're going to lean on their defense. They are playing the Chargers. I don't know, Bizzleman, how do you see it?
Oh man, you know what? Honestly, man, I believe that Lamar Jackson he's a talent, and I did NFL thing forever, and I've been playing football most of my damn life, and I understand that what most people don't get. You only get a small window, you know what I'm saying, as far as certain things like the wow factor, right? So if they figure Lamar out, and they're not gonna stop, let's just be completely real, because he's that talented. But once they figure out how to stop him, I mean, just ask Deshaun Watson. You know what I'm saying? Deshaun Watson had a crazy breakout year last year, running the ball, doing what he was doing with the Wolves until he got hurt. And but now he hadn't had those super wild games. He's just been winning. You know what I'm saying? Because he's had to adapt, and he's that intelligent and has that big of an arm to sit in the pocket and deliver balls. Like he can throw the ball anywhere. And Lamar has some of those similar qualities, but with running quarterbacks, they're going to depend on their legs first. That's just what they do until they learn different. Like Cam Newton, same way. They taught Cam to be a pocket passer, and wow, it was the most amazing thing ever because they have these huge cannons for arms. So Lamar is going to do what Lamar going to do. Playing against the LA Chargers, meaning we know how the Chargers are. Chargers going to Charger. I don't think they're going to get past the first round, to be real with you, because I think the Ravens are just kind of riding the wave right now, and their defense is stellar.
Right.
Gordon's kind of banged up, and we'll talk more about this picks, but Gordon's kind of banged up, and Phillip Rivers, Rivers going Rivers, like Chargers going Charger. It just is what it is, man. I feel like the Ravens are going to take this. Not easy, but they'll win it.
Yeah, we'll get into that for Savage Picks wildcard round. And speaking of that, Jalen, you already know we do our picks every week, so we want to get yours for wildcard weekend. So for each of these games, bro, give us the winner and a quick reason why. Starting with the 6 seed Colts at the 3 seed Texans.
I think the Texans are going to take that one. The Texans are too hot right now. I don't think the Dallas Cowboys defense is going to hold up well.
All right, so you got the Texans over the Colts, and then speaking of Cowboys, the Squawk are at the Cowboys in Jerry World.
Say that one more time.
For the Seahawks at the Cowboys. What do you think's happening with that?
I got Seahawks taking that one. Like, I hate to say Seahawks, even though I'm a Cardinals fan, but I don't see the
damn right, Jalen.
Man, yeah, you're right. You're a smart man. I'm agreeing with you, and I'll go over that in Savage Picks. All right, and then Chargers at Ravens. Do you think Lamar's going to push them over the top to get out of the first round?
I think it's going to be a close one, but I think Lamar is going to pull the Ravens out the first round.
Nice. And then finally, Philly at the Bears. What do you think about that? It's going to be cold.
I think Khalil Mack is going to ravage in the backfield.
Hey.
Nice. Oh. Okay. All right. So to recap, you got Bears, you got Ravens, you got the Squawk, and then you got the Texans at home. So basically you got what? You got the one road team getting it done. All right. Okay. I can definitely see that, especially the Seahawks one, because damn sure knows nobody around here trusts them goddamn Cowboys. So yeah, I'm in agreement with you on that. And then finally, bro, just wrapping up, like you mentioned here at the top. Obviously, you're from California. You're going to NAU. Obviously, kind of getting on the grind as far as getting back into school and everything. What do you got coming up? You mentioned that you did certainly play at the high school level. Looks like you're trying to play at the next level. What do you kind of got coming up, and what can people expect out of you, in the new year?
Right now I'm just working and then getting into the MMA right now. So something big's gonna be in there for a while.
Oh,
nice. Okay. Nice. Who do you mess with in UFC?
Say it one more time.
Who do you mess with in UFC? Who do you like?
Right now, Israel Adesanya.
Okay. Yeah, I know he's on the come up. I mean, obviously, there's the greats out there like Bones and a few of them other cats, Khabib and all them.
Johnny Bones, friend of the podcast,
man. Yeah. Friend of the show, Johnny Bones. Crazy Johnny Bones Jones. Dope, man. Well, listen, bro. Like you got our support. You know what I'm saying? Young man on the come up, and we appreciate you rocking with us, and we're always rooting for. You know what I mean? Especially young athletes, trying to make their way in the world. So yeah, man. Before we let you go, you know what I'm saying? Plug your social media anywhere people can find you. All that good shit.
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at JAY340, 0 spelled out. And then Xbox, XXJAYXX99.
Oh, my boy! Hey, you're taking on all competitors. What you playing? The Madden? You playing the Madden? You playing 2K? What?
Yeah, I be playing that Madden. I'm not too good at 2K, but Madden, I can get you a Madden.
Yeah.
Gonna bust somebody's ass.
Hey, I ain't got time for none of that shit. I play my son in 2K in here. You know what I'm saying? You whoop my ass. Like I stole something. I ain't got no time. Jalen. I'm
nice. Nice. Well, Jalen, we appreciate you. Shout out to Jalen Johnson again. Once again, the winner of the 2018 NFL.com for the People Fantasy League. Make sure you mess with him on social media. Follow his journey. And when we come back after a special advertisement announcement, oh, baby. JB, I don't know about you. Actually, I do know because we're both on the same goddamn wavelength. Hey, don't call us with some bullshit because guess what? We're going to be preoccupied. Yeah. You know why? Because it's motherfucking wild card weekend.
Wild card weekend.
We're going to get to that in our Savage Picks coming up right after this break. But in case you forgot, you are listening to the JB and Benny Blue Review podcast. And we'll be right back, bitches.
Yeah.
What's up, reviewers? Have you heard about making money in real estate, but you're not sure how to get started? Now you have an opportunity to learn about the housing market while earning commission on new deals. Pacific Home Buyers is a Southern California-based real estate investment group that is seeking experienced and hungry phone salespeople to help them find the best homes on the market for sale. And the best part, there's no real estate experience required. Hours are flexible and you can earn big money on closed deals for just getting home sellers qualified. Call us now at 323-963-3417 for more information on how you can get started. That's 323-963-3417. Pacific Home Buyers. Your home sale starts here.
That's right, reviewers.
Yeah.
We fucking back, dude. It's the JB and Benny Blue Review. I know I sound like a fucking character from Family Guy. It's all right.
We're back. It's great. We love you.
I'd love to be immortalized like the little cartoon guy does for The Simpsons. And yeah. I'd love to be immortalized on Family Guy. I'd be great. You know what I'm saying? I want to be a character on Family Guy.
Hey, you bring up a good point. All graphic artists out there, all graphic designers, people who are dope with the cartoons. JB and I talk about all the time, and we're definitely, especially moving in the new year, we're going to add some new branding. We're going to get a new logo done, all the photo shoot, all that good shit.
All that.
We definitely love shit like that. So like, if you're dope with the designs, especially doing like cartoons, hit us up, JB and Benny Blue Review at gmail.com. We would love to work with you to get some new shit going. Cause I mean, yeah, bro, we could definitely use some, you know what I'm saying? Some digitizing action. You know what I mean? Get us into a new form.
Yeah. Like I said, y'all call it being immortalized. You know what I'm saying? I want to be immortalized, being made into a cartoon. That's it.
Yeah.
Immortalization.
Well, exactly. Well, speaking of being immortalized, one of these teams that has made the playoffs is going to live in infamy forever. Who knows? That's bro. That is the beauty of the NFL. You think you can do all the research, look at all the stats, look at all the patterns, all the tendencies, all you want, but we are in the season of a little bit of luck sprinkling around. You know,
little bit of football god dust floating around.
Football gods.
We never know what's going to happen in these playoffs, and that's the beautiful thing about the playoffs. And wild card teams just barely sneaking in, and they're coming in hot, and you know, we're gonna see some teams get disappointed, Benny. We're gonna see some teams get disappointed, and you know, they're gonna be on the West Coast. I don't know. Are they gonna be in the South?
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but these teams with these first round buys, beware. And I'm thinking that it's going to be a team on the West Coast. I'm not going to say no name. But because they're young, they don't know no better. And they don't really have veteran leadership. They just don't. To me, they just don't have veteran leadership. I think that the team on the West Coast, team out here on the far West, Coast.
Huh.
All right, it's gonna take a spill next week after they first. But we gonna see it. Only time will tell.
Yeah, that is a hell of a teaser. And listen, I mean, that's the beauty of the playoffs, especially this year, man. Like, you can really make a case for every single team in the playoffs, but you can't always say that every year. Like, sometimes, you already know, bro, there are so many teams that, especially in the wild card, will trip and fall into that 6th seed.
Right.
I really think this year it's a good matchup of teams. I think you can make a case for every team not only to be in the playoffs, but to actually make a run.
Oh yeah.
But you know, there can only be one. So
there can only be one.
Yeah. So before
I can only choose one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah.
Before we get into that, we got to find out what happened in Week 17, and with a drum roll, please.
Probably the worst week ever, right?
You're correct. JB's record after 17 weeks of regular season football is 117, 106, and 2, and your boy, the Great Blue Dini, is at 135, 89, and 2. That's because I had a hellified week. Let's go over here very quickly.
Yeah.
Right off the bat, we both picked the Bills to finish the season strong, whooping the Fiends' ass. Speaking of whooping ass, my kiddies shut the cheese eaters the fuck out in Lambeau, 31-0, and got Rodgers another concussion. I don't wish ill on Rodgers, but I'm just saying we gave him the work. First of all, Lions fans, let me take a quick moment. Don't sit there, don't bitch about the team winning the game. Oh, it's hurting their draft stock. Shut the fuck up. We're not picking number one. There's not a clear-cut consensus number one player that we need to pick. Honestly, we need a dynamic tight end. Nobody's going to take him in the first 2 or 3 picks. So don't be a douchebag and say, "Why did you guys win the game?" Nobody's going to play to lose.
And those two cats, the best two tight ends, and I'm pretty sure both of them are going into the draft this year. Those 2 kids from Iowa. Both of them are polished. They both can block. Both run routes well. They both catch the ball very well. And I think those are 2 guys that are going in. You guys need a tight end if they're there when y'all pick. What do y'all like, the 4th pick?
Like 6th or 7th, depending on how it shakes out now after they won the game. But people were complaining that we should have just laid down
a higher pick. Yeah, like nah.
Right.
Congratulations to the Birdgang. We got the number 1 pick.
You did.
Yeah. So yeah, we keep rolling. We'll talk about that in just a second.
Yep. So anyway, they got it done. The Pats, they got it done to finish 8-0 at home on the season. Black Cats ended up winning in the Saints. Saints basically just battled the backups. They ended up finishing the season 7-9. How about them Cowgirls? The comeback game, 36-35 there in the Meadowlands. Picked the Falcons, the Doty Boys correctly to get it done. They barely won.
They did it. They did exactly like you said they would do it. You know, in typical janky Falcon style.
Yeah, it was a jankified game to be sure. And then the Texans got it done, finishing 6-2 at home over the Jaguars. Speaking of the Chargers, they won on the road. They finished 7-1 on the road, beating the Broncos. Chiefs whooped the Raiders' ass. They were 7-1 at home. Rams got it done at home. Bears beat the Vikings, basically put the Vikings away. We witnessed a fun little cat fight between young Thielen and young Cousins. I'm not gonna lie, I got to chuckle out of watching that shit. I don't know about you, but that shit was funny.
It was weak as water, but you know I could just hear the high pitched voice, like oh man, I could just hear it, like like 2 fucking cats fighting in the alley. You know what I'm saying? So it was just a disagreement amongst them. Whatever.
I'm not gonna lie. The only thing that would have made that better is if Thielen had a strong index finger poke to the chest. That would have been great. Somebody just needs to publicly punk Kirk Cousins just once. Just humble him just once. You know what I mean?
Back.
Come on, man.
Fucking back the shit out of him.
Yeah. So they got some shit to deal with. Right. They got some shit to deal with in the offseason. Speaking of shit to deal with in the offseason, how about them Steelers? They won, but did they win? Question mark. Yeah, that's a lot of shit to deal with there.
Drama that's going on in Pittsburgh right now, where the one Antonio Brown, who I think is at this point a poison or a cancer for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He needs to go. He's done a lot this year, things that are unsuitable, that are unpleasing eyes of coaches and higher ups. It's just time for him to go. I think the whole Le'Veon Bell situation kind of made him sour, and which is like it really has nothing to do with him. But yeah, it's time for Antonio Brown to get the hell on. So Steelers, if you listen, if I want to let him go, if I want to shop him around, get him out of the organization, start, you know what I'm saying? Get a couple young bucks around. You got a couple young guys, you know, Juju and the other kid that they're very high on over there. They're a young receiver, and they got, you know, young tight ends that can get it cracking. They got a young running back. Offensive line is decent, and Big Ben is gonna be there until he fucking throws out of a wheelchair. So yeah, Steelers, let him go. Let that man go.
Yeah, it's just resetting the culture, and honestly, you know what I'm saying? We reviewers, as you know, we are not a hot take show, but to be honest, man, I really think they really need to be active this offseason in positioning for life after Roethlisberger. Because I'll be honest, like people act surprised that Roethlisberger does this. You know what I run back every so often. We're both fans of some of the shit they do on NFL films and all that. You know what I watched the other day? I watched that thing they did about the 2004 draft when Eli didn't want to go to the Chargers, and it's Rivers and Roethlisberger. Right. And when you watch that and you watch the footage that they show of Roethlisberger, yeah, he was 22 or whatever age he was. Let's be honest. Roethlisberger has never had the greatest character. Let's just keep it real. Right. He's always been kind of greasy. Right. You know what I mean? Like, he's a hell of a player. You know what I mean? But I don't know. Something about him always... Have you always kind of seen that with Roethlisberger?
I've always felt that about him. Like, so all those incidents that was happening in those bars with women and all the other shit, like... And I've heard a couple of his teammates, you know what I'm saying, say some things about Ben that it's like, what? But, yeah. He's always had that grease ball, that slime ball mentality, you know what I'm saying? That era of slime ball. Yeah. Speaking of Robert Kelly, I ain't inferring anything, but all I'm saying is dudes who have his haircut and have that lil fucking line up the chin strap thing, them the cats are waiting outside of high schools. That's all I'm saying. Where I'm from, when you look like that, you definitely date a chick that's like not exactly eligible to vote. Go to the barbershop, you know what I mean? Barber like, what do you want? Let me get that pedophilia. You know
yeah, let me get the pedophilia line up with the fade.
Let me get the pedophilia. You know what I'm saying? You gotta say nothing else. Hey, Barber like, stay
he's
no
like,
more.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Barber like, stay no more. We got you.
And I'm gonna charge you extra because you're a sick fuck. You know what I'm saying?
Right, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Now get the fuck out of here if I whoop your ass.
Oh my God! So yeah, we'll see what happens with them. Speaking of teams that are kind of figuring out, certainly not to the level of the drama, but there's certainly a lot of questions. I would think. Birdgang fall to Squawks, which they get the number 1 pick. It is we've been through it all with the state of the Birdgang, all that shit. JB, you kind of touched on as far as what happened with Wilkes a little bit last episode. I mean, we at the end of the day, we both think he got a raw deal. He should have been given at least another year. Yeah. But keeping our eyes on, through the windshield and not through the rearview mirror. I mean, they just interviewed Jim Caldwell. They've done some other preliminary stuff. What do you think? GM Bridges. What are you thinking now, moving to the future at the coach position?
Oh, I think that they need to. Well, I don't know a lot about all the candidates, but what the Cardinals have to do, and one thing they didn't really do with Steve Wilkes, which is why I think he got a raw deal of getting rid of him after 1 season, is that they need to, based on their personnel that they have right now, they need to find a coach who can, say defensively, we have these guys, and it's going to take us about a year to do an overhaul if you want to run a true 4-3 defense. With Wilkes is the 4-3 guy. They do that when they hired him. But and he's coming from a 3-4 personnel defense. That takes a whole year transition itself. Right now, the defense played well because they're a bunch of great athletes. You know what I'm saying? And we had Chandler Jones who was doing great things. In fact, Pete shuts down the whole side of the defense. And,
right.
The linebackers played out of pocket. You know what I'm saying? Like they really play, above average. And even for having guys that were like quote unquote no name. And then offensively, the guy, he hires a guy that he thinks can get the job done, like boy, they fired him. So now he's left with a Leftwich who has never done what you're asking him to do. He's never called plays in a professional football game. Right? That's not his thing. And he's never even really been groomed for it. Tell you the truth. He was a quarterback coach with intern and quarterback coach with Bruce and or whatever the hell he had going on. The Cardinals need to find somebody who is a good fit for them. Right? And that's the issue. I don't think Wilks I think with one more year, Wilks would have made that team a lot better, right? Especially defensively. Like our defense would have been solidified. You had players that spoke out and said, hey, we like Wilks. You know what I'm saying? He's a great coach. We want him another year. Hey, he deserved another year. But going forward, the Cardinals need to find the perfect match. Not the most popular guy. They need to look at this guy's history as far as like people that he deals with, people that are under his tree, people that he will potentially bring in as defensive coordinators and offensive coordinators. Like those are the things that you have to look at. Like when you're sitting down and you're speaking to a coach in an interview, like, hey, okay, so we hire you today. Who would you bring in as offensive coordinator? What are his credentials? Right. Like what successfully? Like what has he done? Okay, who would you bring in as a defensive coordinator? What does he run defensive wise? And we got right now our personnel is 3-4. So if we're gonna go 3-4, we can build more better off of a 3-4 than we can off of 4-3 right now. But if you want to go 4-3, then we're gonna have to do some cutting and we gotta draft some kids. Yada yada yada. These are conversations that have to be had, and I don't really think they really had those conversations with Steve Wilks. So I wish him the best of luck. At Cardinals, we gotta get it together. We gotta bring somebody in that's gonna be the perfect fit for our ball club. Like right.
And you bring up an interesting point. Just kind of put a bow on this before we get into picks. You talk about the hires, and really not even so much the hires, like you said, the way that they are allowing the coaches to build their team, right, or create a culture. And it seems like they're kind of it seems like the front office is unsure. So do you think, obviously you see in situations with hirings, typically what you'll find is it'll usually be a GM coach combination depending on where the team is at. So do you think at this point, do you think it's deeper than, we just got to hire the next coach? Do you think there's got to be more shakeups as far as within the front office to really get it right?
Here's the issue with the Cardinals, and this is something that is going to eventually have to happen. If Mike Bidwell and Steve Keim are best friends, right? And friends and business don't really mix. Right. So, Keim has had flashes of greatness in the draft. He's drafted some decent talent, or has he? Like he drafted in DK. DK won't be coming back to Cardinals anymore. They drafted a kid that plays linebacker. He's outside linebacker. Who is a great player, but he's just not playing the position he's playing in. He's a rush type outside linebacker who was basically built for a 3-4 defense again, which we weren't running a 3-4 defense here because Wilks is a 4-3 guy. Well, I don't know. Steve Keim, everybody's calling Steve Keim's head. Like they want him gone, and I don't know if it's Keim or the coach. I felt like, again, I'm gonna say it, and I'll say it again, and I'll tweet it, and I'll say it forever. I believe in one more year, Wilks would have had our team, or one more offseason, to put the pieces together that he wanted there. Wilks would have had our team very competitive next year.
Right.
And when you look at you listen to the press conference of Bidwell and Keim, and they were talking about, I'm a fan first. Bidwell's like, I'm a fan first. And I wasn't happy with the level of competitiveness, you know what I'm saying? Like in certain games that we lost and so on and so forth. It's like, okay, well, players play and coaches coach. So it goes back to a personnel. Right? I don't know. We'll see what the future holds. But as far as that whole shaking of the head out the front office thing, I don't see it happening sometimes just because of the fact that they are. unless they would sit down like men and be like, yo, it might just be time to do it somewhere else. Friend, I'm telling you, you know, like you basically overstayed your welcome. Or sometimes it's time for a change of scenery. Sometimes you just got to shake shit up. So unless they really sit down and have that man-to-man, brother-to-brother conversation, man, ain't shit gonna change in the front office. So they're gonna have to bring a coach in. That's just gonna, you know, he's gonna have to flip the whole shit. Like Bruce did.
Right, and hopefully they don't get too deep in the woods as far as that like Jason Garrett, Jerry Jones type relationship where you're basically just held hostage. Like, no, I'm telling you, he can do it, and then it's like it's just years and years and years, or dare we say the Marvin Lewis, Mike Brown scenario where it's like you're just there for years and years and years, and it doesn't change over. And the other thing I will say in terms of from a business standpoint, JB, you know how contracts work. If you hire a coach, you're giving them normally like a 4 or 5 year deal. So even if you fire them after a year, you still got to pay them some of that. It's dead money. So like from a business standpoint, why would you only give them 1 year? You should at least give them 2.
Like I
That's
said,
dumb.
it just didn't make. I mean, even the kid Vance got 2 years over it. You know what I'm saying? He just after 2 years, you ain't getting it done. Okay, you deserve to get fired. I don't give a damn what color you are. Everybody wants to promote the race thing. You know, how long was Todd Todd over in New York? He
did what, 3 years? So I mean, you know, he got you know.
Yeah, they gave him 3 years.
There's always other factors, but still, it's like they didn't pull the ripcord too early. You could say that.
Exactly. They stuck with their hire. They're like, you know what, we hired this guy. We're gonna stick it out and see if he can get us right. Huh? Whatever. Anyway, we roll it.
There it is. And just wrapping up week 17, JB's drafting team, the EAGLES Eagles, got it done. They got themselves in the playoffs at 9-7. Ravens beat the Browns 26-24. But hey, man, we've been Browns. You know we've been pulling for you basically since this fucking show started. And shout out to you because I think in our Savage preview of the season, we were looking at about 5 wins, and you guys got 7 wins. So.
I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna say they got 8 wins. All right, they finished at 500 this year because they are 7-8-1. All right, a tie is not a loss. A tie is not a win. A tie is a tie. So they went 500 this year. Hey, shout out to them, man. Good job, Browns. I look forward to watching the Browns play next year. It's gonna be interesting what they do coach wise. They're smart. They bring back Williams. I just feel like that's what they should do. But hey, whatever. I'm not there. So.
Right. Well, it looks like the one thing they're doing is it looks like they're going to keep Freddie Kitchens, which is smart. Yeah. Let him build with Baker. But Browns, be careful. As JB knows, the beauty of the NFL, every season is different. You could go to the goddamn Super Bowl one year, but the next year, if you don't recommit and handle your business and everything that comes with that, y'all could be right back at the bottom. So don't rest on your motherfucking laurels. You made some really, really good progress considering where you were at. But hey, if you want to get to the playoffs and make a run, come on, man. You got like JB said, you got it. Cleveland Browns don't brown. You know what I mean? Jimmy Haslam, come on, man. Don't fuck it up for him now. And finally, the Colts got it done at the Titans. That was a loser goes home situation. Yep. And there you go. The Colts get in at 10-6. And speaking of a playoff teams, JB, we are finally here. It's where it's the second season. It's where this shit matters. And damn it, we're gonna have a lot of fun talking about these games and watching these games. Reviewers out there from sea to shining sea, it is time for Savage Picks 2018 NFL Wildcard Weekend. Keep that goddamn music right now. Yep. Let's go right off the bat. First and foremost, it is the Colts at the Texans. It is the AFC South matchup in the wild card round. All right.
Hold up. You know what, man? I'm gonna go with the Colts, man. I gotta go with the Colts, and the reason that I'm going with the Colts is because Texans gonna Texan, man. I don't know what it is about the Houston Texans. It just got that man. They just don't do it. They just don't do it, and they have too many holes. They have too many issues. I feel like the Colts are just playing lights out football right now, and They got Luck, and Luck's playing at a super high level. No disrespect to Deshaun Watson or Hopkins, none of those guys. But the Luck Ebron combination, that young running back they got's dynamic. It's gonna be a battle. I just feel like if it comes down to the wire, which is going to, the Colts are gonna win. I'm gonna say.
I agree. I'm going with you on that. I think the Colts will win on the road. My factors to win right off the bat. Of course, you'll appreciate this given your occupation. I think the Colts are going to control the line of scrimmage. I think with the playmakers, with Clowney and with Watt, to be honest, I think it's very feast or famine with them. They're very capable of making big plays. Right. But listen, the Colts with Andrew Luck, he's not in a position anymore where he is fucking, you know what I mean, running around like Tom and Jerry anymore. He's not doing that anymore. And when you give him time, that dude's right up there with the best of them, period. So I think that the main factor is that they're going to control not only the line of scrimmage, I think they're going to establish the run game better. Of course, the Texans have probably the most reliable receiver in the league, and Hopkins. The dude catches the ball, he doesn't drop it. He's a playmaker. He can get really good yards after catch. Right. So he's going to be a factor. You know, Watson, and it's crazy even to think this. It's Watson's first playoffs because he was injured last year. Right. So now it's like he's in it. They don't really have a true home field advantage. I know they're going to be hyped, but it's not going to be like some of these other environments, I don't think. And to be honest with you, when it comes, if it is a close game, if it is wire to wire, bell to bell at the end, I think the Colts have a better coach. Honestly, I think Frank Reich is a better coach than Bill O'Brien, and I think he will put them in a position to win.
And the Colts have a better kicker.
This is true. They have the golden toe, Adam Vinatieri, who can, he's a top 5 kicker, no doubt. And yeah, man, I agree. I think the Colts are going to win on the road. I think that they, there's just more factors going their way. Texans are going to make some big plays early, get them hype, of course. I think the Colts just have more to lean on than the Texans. I think when you shut down, I think when you force the Texans to run in a situation like this, I think that they're going to make it very hard on the Texans to if it becomes like a score for score type situation. Yeah, I don't think the Texans are going to be able to hang with them, and it's really going to love
Texans, go Texans. Tell you.
Yeah, I agree.
And another thing I want you to think about too is that no disrespect to the Honey Badger and the other safety, but if they don't stop Ebron, it's going to be a rough day. And for whatever reason, Tyrann Mathieu right now comes very well down the field. So, that's just another factor. Ebron's going to feast.
Yeah, there you go. So we're both taking the Texans to go, or the Colts rather, to beat the Texans and go to the divisional. All right, the second game here for Saturday is the motherfucking Squawk. There it is. I can't believe these fuckers won the division. How about them cowgirls? I mean the Cowboys. They're in Jerry World. Lions 2.5. Or the Cowboys hosting the Squawks.
Is this the first playoff game in Jerry World?
Wow, you might be right, because haven't they ever in the other playoff games of late they've been on the road? Isn't that right?
Yeah. So the reason why I'm asking is because the stadium's been open it opened before I retired. So it's been open about 5 years, right? 6.
Yeah, a little longer than that. Yeah.
7 years maybe. Because it's hosted the Super Bowl and all that shit. So, honestly, I'm not sure. We have to do the research on it, but I think this might be the first playoff game that the Cowboys hosted in Jerry World. Either way, Seahawks are number 1 rushing off, and they're not going to stop rushing the ball. They're not. They're not going to stop running the ball, no matter what you do. They're not going to start running the ball. And I credit Pete Carroll for that. Appreciate him for that as a coach and their offensive coordinator. They're going to stick to what got them there. Seahawks have the best linebacker in the National Football League, Bobby Wagner, and he is going to be smacking the boy up 6 ways from Sunday.
Yeah.
I'm going with the Seahawks. That's right. Both away teams get the W today. I just think the Cowboys. I think they're still an uncertain football team. The defense is dynamic. Let's be real. The defense is dynamic. Shit. There's two young linebackers. The boys fly around and make plays. Their defensive backfield is sneaky good. Their defensive line is active. They're big. They're aggressive. But I think that the Seahawks are going to use that against them. They're going to pop some big runs. Kid Carson, star. They got the other kid, San Diego State. Yeah, I just think the Seahawks are going to get the W, man. So I feel like it's going to be one of those knockdown, drag-out games, and that's right up the Seahawks' alley. So, I just feel like the Seahawks get the W today, buddy.
Yeah. I think the major key alert on this is the Seahawks rebuilt secondary. How are they going to respond? Because now, Amari Cooper is a playmaker, and if it's really, I think the main thing is, can you shut him down? Cole Beasley's going to get his little 7-8 yards, okay, but what are they going to do with Amari Cooper, right? And then obviously the run game is a run game. I think that will give them some fits through the night. I mean, it's a deceptive game, right? It's one of those games that can kind of lull you to sleep and be like, oh well, the Cowboys are going to be at home. They've been playing well at home. They have playmakers now. They've established themselves. Their defense, their defense can hold up with most of the other teams in the league at this point. But like you said, man, it's playoff football. How does that shit translate, especially with the Pete Carroll, Russell Wilson combination? You throw in Baldwin in there, Lockett, some of these guys who have been there before. To be honest with you, I think this game is gonna be fun as hell to watch. And to me, a game like this is absolutely when it comes down to the wire, who do you trust more? Because I think it's going to be that type of game. I don't think either of these teams are. I think it's going to be a Balboa Creed, type of deal.
Right.
And when it comes down to it, I think the Seahawks find a way to win it late.
Right.
And so I'm going to pick the Seahawks on the road as well. Them Cowboys get that bubble burst at home, and if that happens, it's going to be very interesting to see how much the Cowboys really think they have to change in order to get over the hump. Because at this point, it's really not a talent issue. They have playmakers. Now it's about, do you really think that, young Jason is the guy? If they lose in the wild card round at home, with how much time he's given, that's going to be the interesting thing. If they lose, which I think is going to happen, and I think they're going to get their hearts broken in true delusional Cowboys fashion. And I'm going to pick the Seahawks as well. So right off the bat for the Saturday games, we're picking both road teams. All right. Now moving into Sunday, we have the Chargers at the Ravens. Line is 2.5 for the Ravens at home.
Man, it's gonna be a beautiful day of football out Baltimore. Be more careful. So the Chargers are going to be more careful when they fall up in there, because the Ravens are going to do old-fashioned football. They're going to play defense, and they're going to lean on the run. All right. They're the number one rushing offense. They're the number last 7 games. So it's either 1 or 2, like as far as like Seattle and Baltimore out of top rushing teams in the NFL. But the Ravens defense finished number 1 in the NFL. And man, I just don't think the Chargers, 1, offensive line is going to be able to hold up. 2, the Ravens secondary is fucking a bunch of wild pit bull dogs. And they linebacker core, Jesus Christ. So the Ravens get the win. I just know what the Chargers do in the playoffs. Chargers going bottom, and Ravens going to do it. It's time for Ravens football right now. This is what the Ravens do. So Chargers Hey, 12-4, great run. It's good for the city of LA. Great. Good publicity. New stadium being built and everything, and everybody all excited about, that Chargers football. That's awesome. Doing good things, but I don't think they'll get out of Baltimore alive there, buddies.
Well, reviewers, how fun would this podcast be if, as much as I love my brother and Savagery, we agreed on everything? Because in this case, we do not. I'm going to pick the Chargers to win on the road.
The goddamn devil.
I don't. Yeah. Philly Rivers is the goddamn devil, and he's going to be slinging that bitch with fire because that's what I think is going to put them over the top. Ravens' game plan is going to be you basically said it. With the run game, with the defense, their whole plan to win is to control the clock. Makes a lot of sense. However, I think that's hard to do if you're going to be playing from behind, and I do think they're going to be playing from behind. I don't think weather's going to be nearly a factor as one would assume, especially for the quote unquote West Coast team. Their prediction looks like about 52 degrees.
52 degrees. It's going to be perfect.
That's playable. So that's not going to help them. So that's not going to force the game so much to be on the ground as much as if it were like close to freezing or cold as fuck. Then I would absolutely pick the Ravens because that would factor into it. Crowd's going to be raucous. You already know. They're going to be. You know what I'm saying? Dogs off the leash on defense, no doubt. I don't know, man. And then the X factor, of course, is how is Lamar gonna respond? Because I do think he's gonna make some dynamic plays. I think he's a kid that's not afraid of the bright lights. Only thing that's really missing from his game is how well he can make real clutch throws in tight windows. He can throw, but it's one of those criticisms about him that is justified. And I know this because I've been watching him through his whole college career. He can throw the ball, but can he stack up with Phillip Rivers? Can he put that ball in a tight spot where it needs to be when it needs to be there, especially in the red zone? Is that going to happen, or is he going to tuck it and try to run? That's a big question mark. So it's going to be fun as hell to watch. But I can see the Chargers pulling away late, not whooping their ass by any stretch of the imagination, but I don't know, man. I think the Chargers have put it together, and I don't think Anthony Lynn gets enough credit. I really don't. And
he's a good coach. Should be coach of your candidate.
Yeah. So I'm going to pick the Chargers on the road. I think it's their time to not be the typical bullshit Chargers. Right. You know what I mean? Charger going to Charger, as you say. I don't know how deep of a run they're going to make, but I think they beat the Ravens this week. But we'll see, man. I mean, you can, like, for all these teams, you can make legitimate cases why either of them will win. Right. But hey, Bizzle man's got quote the Raven Nevermore, and I got the L.A., Carson, Torrance, Orange County, Santa Clarita, Bakersfield, Barstow, halfway to Vegas Chargers, baby. So there we go. And finally, the final game of the wild card weekend. Oh, it's an NFC classic. Classic teams. It's the EAGLES Eagles at the Bears, who won the NFC North. They're trying to get their first playoff win in a long time, so that crowd's going to be fucking ready for that. They're 7-1 at Soldier Field. I don't know. Personally, I think the line is a little bit too generous for the Bears. They got it at 6.5. Right. But what are you thinking, sir?
Well, you know what? Bears been a good run.
Ooh,
has been a great run. I mean, getting Khalil Mack and the kid Hicks playing between Hicks and Mack, man, dynamic tandem on defense, crazy, right? The defense is playing good ball, but I feel like that Philadelphia is going to make the Bears one-dimensional, meaning that they're going to make risky throw the ball a lot.
Risky.
The last 6 games of the season, the Bears haven't been running the ball very effectively. And we talk about a defense that is snarling, growling. Their front four, aggressive, Fletcher Cox, and long boy, and what's the other guy's name? Crazy son of a bitch with the hair. Brother, what's his name?
For who, the Eagles?
Yeah, Bennett. Yeah. So, but that defensive line is I mean, I just feel like Philly's defense is really going to make the Bears one dimension, and they're going to make Trubisky beat them with his arm. I don't think he can do it. Now, if the Bears can run the ball and run it effectively, meaning to get 4, 5, 6 yards on first down and making those big plays, and they do have a gadget offense. You understand what you do, Cohen and Howard, they're a dynamic combination. Just Nick Foles, man. This dude just knows how to win when it's time to win, bottom line. And I think Philly gets the upset. Chicago.
Damn. You know, there's always one game. Right. There's always one game in the playoffs that we look at back at every year, and we're like, damn, that team got fucked over. There's always one game that happens in the playoffs. And I think that it's going to be this game. And I think the Eagles are going to get fucked over. I want to pick the Eagles. I do. I think there's something to be said about a team that won the Super Bowl, and typically teams who win the Super Bowl don't make the playoffs the next year. So the fact that they got in the playoffs, I think they're going to be ready to play. Because they play in Philly, in terms of climate and the stadium noise, I think that's going to be neutralized a little bit. And you're right. I mean, the fuck if I'm gonna trust Trubisky on offense. And I mean, I think this game definitely has the potential to be like a 14-10 type of game. I'm predicting, the great Blue Dini says, some bullshit toward the end of the game is going to screw over the Eagles. I'm just seeing it happen.
I think it goes back to what you were saying, basically, with the Cowboys in Seattle. It's going to come down to who do you trust. We know who's done it before, and that's really making me sway my decision to the Eagles, because I could have very easily just straight up said, "Yo, this the home team. They got a great defense. The Bears." You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
I'm going to go on who's done it before. You got a young, their offense, super young. You know what I'm saying? Trubisky young, Howard young, Tariq young. Their offensive line is suspect. Let's just keep it all the way 100.
Mm-hmm.
Their offensive line is suspect. And if they're not going to be able to control Fletcher Cox, Bennett, and Long, it's not going to happen. And yeah, I mean, we'll see. I feel you. I can understand what you're saying too about some wild shit just happened toward the end of the game. You're like, God damn it, how the fuck did that happen? Here's
my Eagles got fucked over prediction. I think that Fletcher Cox is going to hit Trubisky in a way that triggers that ridiculous roughing the passer call, and I think something to that effect is going to happen to put the Bears in a position to kick a field goal or something of that nature to score late based off of a penalty. I don't think the Eagles are going to run wild on them, because I do think the Bears defense is that good to bring everything back to the middle. So I think it's going to be a low scoring game, and I think the Bears are going to escape with a win off of some sort of combination of bullshit. So while I do think that what you're saying is correct, but to me, man, there's not regardless of them being there, unless it's the Pats, dude. There's not a ton of evidence out there. Especially, I mean, look, and it could be a situation where the Eagles, they end up, they realize that they missed, some of the guys that they had on in terms of the coaching staff for that Super Bowl run that are no longer there. I don't know. There's a couple factors like that. I do think the Bears are going to squeak out a win at home off some late game magic bullshit, right, whatever you want to call it.
Three things I want you to think about: Aguilar, Selleck, Jeffries.
Aguilar, yes. I'll give you Aguilar.
Between Foles and Jeffries, they love each other. I don't know what it is. As soon as Nick Foles came back, Jeffries just fucking came out of the woodwork. And just Aguilar, Selleck, and Jeffries. I'm telling you, between those three, the Bears are going to have fits because they're not going to know how to stop. The Bears want to get to the quarterback fast, but linebacker-wise, who can tell them Selleck? Nobody. Down the field, jump ball. Kamuka Mara gonna cover Jeffries? Is he gonna run with Aguilar? He's suspect, even though he's had like a decent season because he's been on the field. Like, he hadn't got hurt this year. That's great for him because he ain't got hurt this year. And then that young safety, he's good. You know what I'm saying? He's making a lot of plays. I just feel like Nick Foles has a dare I say, more of a chemistry with the receiving core than Wentz. I don't know why. But, yeah, well, we're going to see. Only time will tell. But I just know there's going to be a lot of plays made by those three guys. What I don't like about Philly right now is the run game is that suspect shit.
Right.
The offensive line is kind of beat up, you know what I'm saying? So, but Nick Foles can get that ball out of his hands quick, and that's going to be the plan, of course. You know what I'm saying? Nobody going to sit there and hold the ball. We've got to go back to my head. I think Philly going to get him, man. I just think Philly going to get him. If Carson Wentz would be playing right now, I'd pick Chicago. That's fucked up, right?
Yeah.
I fucked up.
No, I mean, listen, it's legitimate. I mean, Nick Foles, he made a run with those guys. He's a goddamn Super Bowl MVP. So it's like there's a certain trust there. I mean, it's kind of a weird thing to say.
That's what I said. You see a rejuvenation of Philly right now because of thinking. I said it's fucked up at this time. I know Carson Wentz has to feel some type of way. He has to. He has to feel some type of way, dog. Like, because it's like, okay, yeah, we was winning when I was here, but as soon as I get hurt, and right now, let's be clear, guys. Carson Wentz ain't hurt no more.
Right, and it's like, okay, well, shit, we made this run last year. We're playing well with Foles. They're not gonna, unless Foles is playing really bad.
Right, yeah, unless they pull him today. Yeah, unless they pull him today, or he gets hurt, like you just said. But Carson Wentz is not hurt anymore. He's fine.
Right. Yeah, he's ready to go if called upon. It's like fucking reverse Drew Bledsoe and shit. You know what I mean? It's like, no, we're gonna put the veteran in. I don't know, man. I'm not gonna sleep on Tariq Cohen. I mean, again, I can see it going either way. I don't know. I'm at this point, I'm fairly confident in my intuition that I don't think the Eagles are gonna lose the game. Yeah. This is what I'm saying. I legitimately think it's gonna be the shit that makes Stephen A's fucking hairline almost go back another 3 feet.
Some buffoonery going on.
Yeah, it's gonna be some shit that all these dumbass shows are gonna be fucking slobbering at the mouth and banging their fist on the table to raise hell about of why the Bears won. I just think it's gonna go down that way. I think Vegas is feeling themselves on that line. I think that's kind of disrespectful to the Eagles.
Yeah. Matter of fact, we got the phone. I think I'm gonna go put some money on.
Right. No shit. Hey, shout to my bookie. There you go. So yeah, man. Well, those are our picks, and we're sticking to them. So we will see who's right, who's wrong, who's both right, who's both wrong. And that's it. Bizzleman, any final thoughts for the reviewers before we enjoy ourselves some fucking wild card weekend football? Goddamn it.
Since we won't be on air, we won't record again until next weekend, and the national championship is this Monday. Roll Tide.
Oh yeah, that's right. Duh, I forgot about that. Yeah, Bama, whatever. I mean, Bama's too goddamn good.
I just don't feel like,
I'm sorry.
I feel like Clemson, they'll play them tough in the beginning, but eventually, reality sets in. This is not the team that had Deshaun Watson beat them. So.
Not at all.
Bama.
Yeah.
Roll Tide.
I think Bama's gonna really give a nice little welcome to big time football lesson to Trevor Lawrence, the freshman from
Sunshine.
Yeah, from Young Sunshine. He's a good quarterback, but he's young.
He can throw that ball. He's gutsy.
Yeah,
man, he got some grown men about to come his way here in a few hours.
Yeah, I think this is the game. Yeah, I think this is the game where Tua really steps out and says, "Yo." Obviously, he's a sophomore, so he's not about to come out this year. Right. But like, I think he's gonna ball out, and he's gonna prove that going into the 2020 draft, like he's definitely gonna be that. He's gonna be that in that next group of like, what we just saw last year with Baker and Darnold and Rosen. He's gonna be at the top of that list, and I think you're gonna be able to look back at this game. Because listen, man, that kid's a star. Yeah. And and even last year when the shit happened with Jalen Hurts and he had to go in, he stepped up and helped them win, helped them get the hardware. So I'm expecting a big game out of him. And yeah, man, just Bama pulls away second half. It's college football. It's not like pros where they can keep it close to the very end.
Right.
I think this may be a game you have to turn off by the middle of the fourth quarter.
By midway through the third, you might be like, fuck.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. I'm gonna go fucking catch up on this goddamn book I started.
Right.
Fuck this shit. You know what I mean? have a sandwich, do something, lay down, fucking
Sandwich.
watch
Right,
a bunch of random videos
right.
on IG, whatever the fuck. Anyway, we both picked Bama. That's it. Anything else for the reviewers?
Hey, as always, man, be safe and enjoy your weekend. Listen to us on every platform that you can listen to us on iTunes, Spotify, Castbox. It don't matter. We there. IG, Twitter, at JB and Benny Blue. Holler at us, fuck with us, talk with us. For all business inquiries, holler at us at JB, www.jbandbluereview@gmail.com.
Correct.
All right. And we love you, man. You know what I'm saying? We love you. It's 2019. Damn, this is the first show of 2019, huh?
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Happy fucking New Year to everybody.
Yep.
And, you know, one thing I'm just going to say, it's not the year for excuses. It's the year to make it happen. All right?
100%.
Plain and simple. It's that's just where I'm going to leave it at. This is not the year for excuses. It's the year to make it happen, and that's that. All right? We love y'all reviewers out there rocking with us. Tell your friends about us. All right? Tell a friend about us. All right?
Yeah. That's it. Follow us at JB and Benny Blue, jbandbennybluereview.com. Shout out to everybody rock with us. And we love you. Until next week, this is JB and Benny Blue Review.
We really do.
Yeah. And we out.
Holla.